throughout the week. Rather, and it was France who got up in a handy lead. New look French team though this week. No Okemba, no Bertrand, no Amadi, no Izzard. Yet they still look very good alongside me for this one. Former Australian international Tiana Penatani. This is a juicy, juicy matchup.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, look at the crowd, look at the atmosphere. If you're not excited, if the players aren't excited, then nothing will ever get you up for this game. But what a matchup we've got between two really physical sides. Fiji, we know they've got that signature Fijiana flair. They play that ad-lib footy, whereas France, they've got a few big names that are missing, as you mentioned, Ricky. But no doubt they're up for the challenge in front of a home crowd.
Lucilla Nangasau, Jed Ulutuli, two veterans of the series and leaders of their side. They've eyeballed each other a few times, and now they charge on to Sardoneswalan for a quarter-final matchup. The winner to play New Zealand, and don't both teams have some history against them, is Fiji out in the middle, and France unbeaten so far. They had to grind and be gritty against Ireland. Fiji, they were 14-5 ahead in this quarter-final in Langford. Couldn't get it done. They changed that result and silenced the home fans. Quarter-final number 4, Fiji against France. The penultimate match on day 2 at HSBC. France 7's Toulouse, and it's Chloe Pelt who goes up high for this one. France will get possession through Carla Neeson. Looking to link up with her outsides, Lou Noel. Was a promising find in this team as well. Drives a good couple of metres, but then off feet. Penalty goes against the French.
We spoke about the physicality, and there it is early on. Bodies colliding everywhere on the field. Fijiana with possession now.
Yeah, these are two teams who will be well and truly up for the collision. Fiji looking to build and cut back on the angle. Got some numbers wide enough. Corthy can't quite bring it in now. Broken field play. Tries to bust her way through. Gets the arms free. Up over the top, and the bounces. A little awkward for Ilunisau, but she's good enough to go back and tidy up. France having to make some early tackles. The offload's not quite sticking for Fiji, and swooping onto that ball, Chloe Jacquet, and they'll win the penalty as well. Good scrambling from France, and away goes Ulutuli for Nissan, and then throws a wild ball straight out over the sideline. Rush of blood from an unlikely player.
Scrappy start for both teams with ball in hand. You can see the nerves are creeping in a little bit. A lot at stake in this game. Usually technically quite sound, France, so you won't see that very often.
Lavina Thavuru to throw to the line out, just on Fiji's side of halfway. As the brass band strikes up again, Thavuru. Fiji trying to bust straight up the middle with their danger woman, Ilunisau. Taken in a good tackle though. France trying to rip in through Noel, still there for Fiji, happy to go from a standing start and just wait for the support runners, and the offloads are sticking with some nice soft hands as well, as Eloise Nakorthi tries to get around the outside, clinging on by Grise, but the offload good as well, and Lavina Thavuru with a little bit of fancy footwork at the end, and Fiji strike first.
Lavina Thavuru, the beneficiary of these points, but they'll make you pay, Fiji. When they've got the ball in hand, they can make something out of nothing, as we know all too well. They love to run in between two players at the space, commit two defenders, and that's where it creates the opportunities out wide. Avunu will open up the scoreboard for Fijiana, but an easy let-off from France. They had possession. They need to keep the foot on the throat.
Vision from wide out, it's brilliant. Oh yeah, adds a couple of extra points, and Fiji goes 7-0 up.
Speaks volumes about their defence for France. They haven't conceded more than one try in this tournament.
Restart just goes at 10 metres, and once again Fiji win that aerial contest. But France will get that ball. Great work from Pell. It was. She missed out on the kick-off, but able to come back and win the ball back for her team, Chloe Pell. Ulatili will tap and go as France look to ball forward. Over halfway now, stepping back in field is Chloe Jacquet, who was an absolute star of their Olympic silver medal winning campaign. Grassino floats an ugly ball again. Grassino and Bertrand are just two players that you'd least expect forcing passes and causing an error for France.
And it's in these big moments that you can really see how much the absence of the likes of Shannon Izar, who's usually the orchestrator through the middle of the field. They've got so many strong athletes, France, but they just need those brains to kind of help direct them around the park in matches like this.
You've seen it all. David Cortez belying little emotion on the face at the moment. Here's Lavina Thavuru. Well, so feed the scrum, but we'll reset it instead.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
It's trapped under the feet, just a little bit slow for Thavuru. Dipping ball is taken nicely. And Fiji try and work a little move. Thavuru on the wraparound. Here's Nkosi, gets a kind bounce. Loves that change of direction. So strong, so powerful, and so pacey as well. Aloisi Nkosi off to the races again. Jacquet chasing, but they cannot catch up with her. Too classy, takes them on herself and carves them up. And Aloisi Nkosi gets a second for Fijiana.
She's been on fire this weekend. Aloisi Nkosi knows how to find the try line. There was absolutely nothing doing out on that edge. She had 3 players to beat. Just some individual excellence there, and strong up top, using that right arm fend. Darts away for the try line, but once again, France had possession. They had territory. And it's those little errors they're letting creep into their game. 2 so far in comparison to Fiji's 1. Fiji will make them pay.
Every stretch and sinew in the big wide eyes as Aloisi Nkosi strides to the try line, and Fiji extend their lead 12 points to 0 with just over 1 minute to go in the first half of this quarter-final. Here's a ball for France though, attacking the kickoff is Joanna Glisses, but great work over the ball, locked in was Olonisau, and here she goes. This is danger for France, but stopped by Ulatili just, and then she's able to get the offload away. These offloads that weren't sticking in the opening few minutes from Fiji. Now well and truly as they look to bust through the gap and then straight up through the middle again. The support play superb. Anna Maria Naimasi under the posts for Fiji. They've got it on a string at the moment.
Starting to build confidence in this quarter-final. Fiji and Anna Maria Naimasi always in support, the second most experienced player on the field for Fiji. It came from the technical excellence, Riapi Olunisau, who got the steal at the breakdown, and as they do so well, draw in 2 defenders, look for the offload. It's a lot easier than it looks to defend.
Well, the other thing Fiji have done as well as the conversion goes over is they've completely taken the crowd out of it. Their coach implores them on. 19-0. France need to secure this possession. They do through Pell. Barely been in their opposition half. Now there's a chance as Ulatili and Grassino. One thing for sure, France will not be done for. They've got plenty of time up their sleeve. Grisey happy to go into heavy contact, lays it back for Grassino to try and clear away. Oh, it's rough and tumble and physical. Ball spits out the back, and Ulatili has to tidy up. Looked awkward going to ground, and might have been a high shot in there or a neck roll, something. Ulatili, you heard her grimace, and it's been spotted on the side.
Yeah. What's the stuff? Pick it tackle.
Just a penalty though. Gracino. Through the hand, Jacquet wide here and some space for Powell, and now it's Powell. Oh, action replay. Gracino, Neeson, and then Powell, and that will bring the half to a close, and it's been Fiji capitalising on France here as they lead 19-0 at half-time. Flat ball on the angle, Nakothi brings it in, able to keep the arms free. Trying to bat it along, and now space wide for Sesinielli. Donu, Noel has to go back and find her, but the inside ball is there for the captain, Rusila Nangasau. The offloads have been going to hand something special in this quarterfinal from Fiji, and another one goes in. Nangasau strikes straight after halftime.
And what a way to lead from the front, the captain, Rusila Nangasau. They did well, Fiji, didn't let the errors creep in, unlike France. Hold on to the ball for a few repeat phases, but in turn, that means that France need to stay connected, not let them split them through the middle, and it's just that A and B defender that got caught out. Miscommunication. Fijiana extend their lead.
This has been really impressive so far from Fijiana. Again from France. Just those uncharacteristic mistakes. Usually they make you earn everything, every possession, every point, every pass. Never been able to get in. Winner to play New Zealand in the semi.
Number 9. Okay. Time back on.
Fiji drive this kickoff long. Deep into French territory, and the bounce almost set up for Rogeli Tabayua. Puts a hand up, said that was perfect. I couldn't quite get there though.
Perfect option from Fiji as well. They know they've got a healthy lead on the scoreboard. Kick it downtown, back their defence, and force France to get out of their red zone. Oh, they were in danger there, France. Rogeli Tabayua on the fly. Oh,
Crouch!
Just fell through the breadbasket.
She got much more on it than I thought. I thought it was just a hand initially, but that went right through. France under pressure. Look at that physical power coming in from Fiji, trying to peel the French forwards back, and Ulatili just has to hack it ahead for the chaser, but it's going to sit up for Nakothi. Tries to chest pass it across, and back they go though. Fiji offside, were they? Yep.
Yeah, ill discipline creeping in for Fiji. 5 penalties now. And that's miscommunication, knowing what your game plan is, knowing what the structure is. The forward pack wanted to push at the scrum, put the pressure on, but the back line wanted to go early. Easy let off.
France, it has to happen for them now, and now might be the chance as Valentine Luto streaks upfield, just dragged down by Ulunisau, but she's got France on the front foot. They need to capitalise. Ulatili for Gracino. Gracino wide again through the hands, and now space for Grisey round the outside. She takes them on. Joanna Grisey, she's going to get France on the board, and it could be the start of the comeback. Still time. They need to move quickly, but Joanna Grisey scores for France.
Certainly still plenty of time for the French to make a comeback here. Joanna Grisey, gee, isn't she quick in space? Absolutely nothing doing on the outside there, but playing with confidence. Fiji, they had the upper hand initially, booting it downtown, putting the pressure on in defence, and they just let them make a break up the right edge. It's the first real passage of play that France have been able to string together continuity in their attacking skills. I think they kick short here off the restart, look for restart retention.
Conversion was good, so 24-7.
Go, go, go.
Will go down for Grisey, the try scorer, and attack the ball, but it's really well brought down by Mbukeli for Fiji. France know that they need to rip in, try and attack this ball. Look at Gracino with the wrestle and shooting up out of the line, and that's dangerous because Nakothi can get the arms free. Good covering back from Noel. France really ripping in here, desperately trying to win back that possession. Fiji have hung on well. Lukutheva it was, and now the mistake. Can France dive for it? Has the French player got there first? Might have a little look. It's Toulouse. She's striding back. Doesn't look overly optimistic.
Okay, John, we're going to have a look for you now.
I would say, Valentine Toulouse.
Did look like the Fijian cover defence got there first.
Tiana Penatani, over to you.
Let's let the viewers listen in on the TMO decision, eh?
David? One decision is taken by the Fiji player and grounded in goal. Do you agree?
Gianluca,
Yeah.
it's simultaneously grounded. It's a 5-metre scrum.
Exactly. Blue ball.
You heard it clearly. Clear decision. Simultaneous grounding. 5-metre scrum. Toulouse crowd hate it. The Fijiana supporters in the corner love it. So close. It'll be France feed to the scrum right in front of the post, 5 metres out.
Look at the stats there. Visits to 22. Fiji tries 4 and 4. 100% success rate, but how the tables can turn so quickly.
Grassino, no time to mess around. Get it in and out, and away she goes. Grassino, she's got her captain on Italy. Oh, good scragging tackle made by her on Ulunisau, and then the mistake. Just overplayed their hand, did France, and now Fiji should be able, you would think, to close this match out with a little bit of razzle perhaps too over the last 90 seconds. It's a good foot race, a big hack at the ball. Great chasing back from Christian's, the debutante for France. Showed a great turn of pace. Knocked out from Ulatsuli, but the penalty had already gone Fiji's way.
You know what? The Toulouse crowd absolutely hate it. But I love the game management there from the number 6, Riapi Ulunisau. Spotted they were in their red zone. They know they've got a healthy lead. Kick it downtown and hope for the best, and they've come away with the best.
Time off.
So Fiji possibly been guilty in Langford and perhaps yesterday against Australia, not closing out tight matches or big matches, or they haven't had to worry too much about closing this one out because they gave themselves such a good buffer. Here's Rongitha, scoops it up from the line out. They might fancy themselves one more as Ulunisau again drives them forward. Such a great game driver overall for them. Ball was out, so Yengo could play. It'll be French ball as it's a little bit of a mess. France still want to play on to finish with a flourish. But unfortunately, again for them, they're going to miss out on a podium place. The French, even though that flourish is going to come by the look of it as they streak away down the sideline through Yan Jason, who finishes it off and gives those fans one more chance to wave the flag.
Yeah, great to see Yan Jason in space. She only made her debut a few weeks ago in Langford, so one of the more inexperienced players, but she definitely looks like she's cut out for the job. Playing with pride there, essentially. Unfortunate loss for the home team, but a clinical finish from Fijiana.
Absolutely. Fijiana have reversed the result from a few weeks ago in Langford, where it was France who went through to a semi-final. This time it is going to be Fiji on their way to the Final Four and a meeting with New Zealand. Fiji into the semi-finals in Toulouse, 24-12 over France.